I think that today not only marks the last enlargement report of this Commission, but it is also worth looking back a bit of what has been achieved. We also had that discussion at the College. I have tried to give a broader overview for the colleagues, and I want to share it with you as well. If there is one thing to be made very clear, I think, from the very beginning, it is that it was this Commission that has worked relentlessly to put the issue of enlargement back on the agenda. Not only just to discuss it, but also to make progress on it. And I think that together with the Member States, we have been able to deliver that. I think that enlargement is among the top 3 issues our leaders are discussing nowadays. And this is not only due to the rapidly changing and challenging geopolitical landscape around us, but it is also the very fact that it is in the interest of Europe to enlarge. If there is one conclusion to be drawn from everything that has happened around us, it is the very confirmation of 4 countries who have responded to a war on our continent with an immediate response: get in the European Union. They have applied for membership because they consider membership to be the long-term guarantee for peace, stability, security and prosperity. And now it is for us to show them that this is the case also in reality. In 2020, when we revised the enlargement methodology, and that was the first step, maybe the most difficult step, we made, I think, a very important change in the approach. And the main principle that we wanted to re-establish was the credibility of the whole process. Because credibility was lost somewhat on the way by messages that there will be no enlargement, by also not being able to decide on opening accession negotiations 3 times in a row, and also by not having a process that is capable of delivering progress in the enlargement. And I think when we have established the new methodology, our aim was to get this credibility back, make it a predictable process, so that everybody knows that if there is delivery on one side, there has to be delivery on the other. So on that basis, I think we have come a very long way. High Representative Vice President Borrell already mentioned how many candidate countries we have today, how many countries are negotiating. If you look back in 2019, basically we almost doubled the numbers that we have had back then. And we have not only new candidate countries, but we have a number of countries now negotiating for membership. We have 6 countries negotiating for membership, with the possibility of a 7th joining, because we have European Council decision on starting the accession negotiations for Bosnia and Herzegovina as well, which shows that we have a build-up of progress, which could mean that at the end of the next mandate of the Commission, we could see enlargement happening. But for this to happen, it's not enough to look at the political processes. You also have to look at how the real integration, the integration on the ground goes. But if I only take this year, or this reporting period rather, so basically September 2023 to September this year, what you see is not so much what the report holds in terms of progress made, but all the decisions that, based on the new methodology, the Council has been able to do. Very important decisions, finally. You remember back in 2023, November, we made a proposal to restart our relations with Turkey. We did it together with the High Representative Vice President. He also mentioned that we are making good progress there, and that we see now a different view emerging on both sides, bringing already direct benefits to both sides. In December, our proposal was endorsed by the European Council to start accession negotiations with Ukraine and Moldova and to provide candidate status to Georgia. In January, Kosovo citizens became visa-free travelers into the European Union. In March, the leaders have approved our proposal to greenlight the accession negotiations for Bosnia and Herzegovina, so providing the necessary decision for moving forward with Bosnia and Herzegovina as well. In June, again, based on our proposals, the Council has been able to have the first intergovernmental conferences with both Moldova and Ukraine and start the actual accession negotiations. Also in June, we had the first intergovernmental conference with Montenegro, where we have started the final phase of the accession negotiations, meaning that we have started closing the chapters with Montenegro, opening the way to actually conclude the accession negotiations. And last month, or it was rather this month, we had the first cluster opened on an IGC with Albania. This is only this year. I think that this is a remarkable commitment on the side of the member states, and I'm also very proud and happy to see that all our proposals have been followed through in the Council. Now, of course, this is very interesting here in Brussels, but if you ask the people on the street in the candidate countries, they might be interested in something else, and which is when and how their countries are going to become part of our economic and social system, our welfare economy, and when and how they are going to be able to enjoy all the benefits of membership. And this college came a long way here as well. For us, it was a priority to have new tools at hand, to start to close this gap in terms of economic and social development between the Western Balkans and the EU, or the Eastern neighbourhood and the EU. This is why the economic and investment plans have been proposed already very early in the mandate. In relation to the Western Balkans, we are mobilising 1/3 of the GDP of the entire region, 30 billion euros. And I was also very proud to present the results in terms of implementation of these plans, where I think that we are performing rather well within the EU budget. When it comes to the Balkans, we are almost at 60% in terms of implementation. So we have invested already more than 17 billion euros in the economies directly. In the case of the southern neighbourhood, these figures are even higher, and because it's 86%, if you look at the east, we are talking about roughly 77%. This shows that there's not only a need for the EU to be strong on these areas and to deliver Europe now to these regions, but there's a strong uptake and a strong ownership in all these three regions where we have been really active. And at the end of the mandate, still this year, we have also created additional tools for the Western Balkans, for Moldova and Ukraine, to actually get them up to speed in terms of reform delivery. This is called the growth plan, the Ukraine plan, depending on the countries. And with the growth plan, we have made it possible for the Western Balkans, for Moldova, but also for Ukraine, to complete the reforms and to have everything ready and to become a member by the end of the next mandate. I think that with these tools at hand, we have, as Commission, done our best to make the next Commission to be an enlargement Commission. I could dwell on the different countries, but maybe let's leave it to the questions. I've been talking already too much. Thank you.